Hi, and welcome back to the Nerd Shelves. I'm Judy.
And I'm Michael. Welcome back. And today, in this episode of Three Things We Love, we are going to be talking about Trajan, another Stefan Feld modern classic, and a little bit of a spoiler, probably one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah, it is. Everyone loves it.
Not everybody.
No?
No.
Really? I'm surprised.
Yeah.
All right, but today we're going to talk about three things we love.
That's right. So, let's get started right now. Okay, so three things we love about Stefan Feld's Trajan. Do you want to start with number three?
Yes.
Okay.
So the third one I like about is the Trajan tile. I like how it's simple. You only need two colors to finish the task, but it's also not simple at the same time because you got to move it at the right timing. So the Trajan tile, you can, to complete the task, and then you can either get end game points, or you can deploy your meeples to military camp and worker camp. Mm-hmm. And there's also drawing commodity cards, which I like those too.
Right. The goods cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those are nice and pretty.
For sure. So basically, on your board where you decide your actions, you can put Trajan tiles, which if you can get two colors that match, or the colors that match that tile, you get a bonus action.
Yeah.
Right.
But you gotta think about it. It's not just anywhere you put it.
Yeah, I think that's really the heart of the game are those Trajan tiles.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what the whole game is all about, right?
It's all because every time you can meet the goal, you get a bonus action.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you spend the whole game not getting bonus actions, you're basically doing half the amount of stuff as the other person, right?
The first time I played this game, I was not really good at getting Trajan tiles. And I think, I lost a lot of points by doing that.
Yeah, it's not that it's not that we weren't good. It's we just kind of ignored it.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't ignore it.
But we were learning the game, and that's different.
Yeah.
You know, after we played it, then we realized that you really need to get those bonus actions and meet the Trajan tiles.
Yeah. What's yours?
Good one. My number three is... So... I had a really hard time picking just three things I loved about this game. I love so much about this game.
Many.
So number three is actually kind of a combination of everything.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that it's the point salad aspect of it. Yeah. There's just so much going on, and everywhere you go, you get more points.
Yeah.
It's so fun because so you do a military action. Mm-hmm. You move up and you get points. Yeah. You ship your goods. You get points.
Yeah.
You know, there's just points throughout the whole game. So throughout the entire game, you keep moving up and somebody's ahead and then the next person's ahead.
Yeah.
But there's also end game points, so you don't know who's going to win until you calculate all the bonuses at the end. It's great. There's just so much going on, and it's just points after points after points. I love it.
I think that's what makes this game really good. It's not as easy, but at the same time, it's easy to get scores.
Right.
Yeah, so you have to really think about it, but you can get score either way.
Yeah, you're always getting points, which is great. You know, there are some games that I've played where, you know, you set up a whole engine and at the end of the game you only have like 7 points. It's not very satisfying. But this game, I mean, your scores are in the hundreds, right? Like there's just so many points. Yeah. So number three for me is that it's a point salad.
Yeah.
And I love point salads. They're not for everybody, but I just love them. And
I like it.
Let's be honest, most Stefan Feld games are kind of
really
point salad-y.
Yeah, I like Stefan Feld.
Yeah.
Love you. Make more games.
Yes, please. So that's number three. How about number two?
Oh my goodness, number two. A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
The Seaport action.
Aha.
Seaport. Speaking of seaport, ship. Okay, so ships, actually there are more than one. So the Seaport, at this action you can either draw commodity cards from face down pile, or you can pick up the top commodity cards from the discarded pile.
Yep.
Or you can play cards down, which gives you endgame points.
Yes.
Or my favorite one is ship your commodity aboard on one of those three ships. And I like to do it early because it gives you higher points. So on those ships, you either get 3 or 4 same kind of commodity car, or different, or pair them up.
Right, or pairs.
Either way, you get points.
Yeah.
But the earlier you do it, the higher score you get.
Right.
And I really like that.
Well, basically, if you do it before me or before the other players, you flip the ship over and the points are worth less.
Yeah.
So
if I see if I can see your strategies going somewhere else, I will start to work on that to get the higher points. Yeah, it's
really cool. You're right. I love how there are 3 ships, and either one ship is for different goods, one ship is for the same goods, and one ship is for pairs of goods. And that is good.
It's good for the end too, because when you at the end of the game you're trying to get as much point as you can. You can either just get rid of your commodity card to get the 2 cards different, or 2 cards the same. You still get points, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I like it. What's yours?
That wasn't mine, but that's a really good part of the game, which I love too. So my number 2, I really love it says in the instructions, the meeting the people's demands. Okay, so what that is the game is split up into quarters of years, and then each quarter of a year has 4 rounds. So when your marker goes around the time clock, that's the end of one round. When that happens, you flip over a demand card. Yeah. And there's either bread, games, or religion. Yep. And that's what the people of your society want. So you do that after 3 rounds, and then after the 4th round, you have to meet those demands or you lose points. Yeah. So you can either collect forum tiles. The small forum tiles where you pay those. So like if one of the demands is religion, you have to pay a religion. Yeah. Or the Trajan tiles we talked about earlier, if they're on your board, they count and you don't lose them, but you can use those for the demands as well. Yeah. And the cool thing about the meeting the people's demands is that you never gain points for them. You don't gain points for meeting the people's demands. You have to do it. So if there is 1 or 2 or 3 demands at the end of the round you can't meet, you actually lose points. Yeah. And I think you lose 4, 9, and 15 points. If you can't meet 1, you lose 4 points. If you can't meet 2, you lose 9 points, and then 15 points.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah. So I just think that was such a cool part of the game, because it's something that you finally, in the game, you have to collect or work towards, not for points, but just to not lose points. Yeah, that part I kind of like it, but I hate it at the same time. Like I said, it's not easy to meet, so I always just collect the forum one. Yeah. The Trajan ones. Yeah, but you have to work really hard because you have to get more than one. Yeah. Because what happens is when you flip another one and it's the same. Right. If you collect a religion forum tile, and then the next round it's another religion tile, and you're like, I need another one. I know, it's really hard. Yeah. And a couple of times I failed on that. Yeah. I think we both did. Yeah. It's part of the game. I mean, and then there's a point too, which I like if you're in the last round of the quarter of the year, and you know the 3 demands that you have to meet, and you don't have one of them, so it's like you have to think, okay, I'm going to lose 4 points, but do I use a turn to get that so I don't lose 4 points? Yeah. But if your turn could actually get you more points, it's worth just leaving it. Yeah, it's sacrifice, right? You have to think about your strategies. Totally, yeah. You loving and hating things at the same time seems to be a common theme. We need to have a series of what I love and hate at the same time. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so that was our second one. So now, number 1, our favorite things about Trajan. Number 1, okay. Not many people like this, but I love it. Okay, so it's the action markers, which is the... action markers are those color tokens. I just love it. So you move those on the trays to complete the Trajan tile task. They also control the time track. So by how many moves you make, that's how many moves is going to go on the time track. Right. Yeah. So you get to control that. Yeah. So basically, on your player board, you have a whole bunch of dishes. And in each dish, there are different actions that you can take in the game. Yep. So what you have to do, and then in each dish you have a whole bunch of different colored markers, your action markers. And you have to pick up a whole pile and you have to move them around each dish, dropping off one color. And where you land is the action you get to do.
Yeah.
But let's say you you drop off 4 action markers and 4 dishes, then you move the time track 4 spots. So you're actually controlling the time as well.
Yeah.
And all the markers are colored. So if you end up doing an action and the right colors are in there that match the Trajan tile, you also get that. So there's so much to think about.
Yeah, so a lot to think about, really, because you have to think what color you want to move on to. Because it, in a way, it's easy because you get to choose which one goes where.
Right.
Along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a couple of times I try so hard not to move too fast because at the end of the quarter year, you get to flip the ship tile back, and I try to hold on to it like, okay, do I want to get that one or
do the shipping now or wait till later? Yeah.
And it's just hard.
The other thing you really have to think about too is if I'm moving 5 action tokens to get to, say, the military action, but along the way is the shipping action with the Trajan tile on it, I still have to drop the right color in there to match the Trajan, even though I'm not using it this turn, so that when I finally get around to using it another turn, the right colors are in the right dishes. Yeah. Oh, there's just so much to think about. It's so good. So much
to think about. And you get to see what other people are doing, but you can't really predict how many moves they're going to make. Right. Because if they finish the quarter year, then you went, my plan is ruined.
Right. So like if somebody moved a dish with 2 actions and there are 3 spots left on the time track, the year doesn't end. The quarter year doesn't end. But if they moved 5, then they've ended it. So you actually control the time track that way too. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
What's your first?
So my number 1 is the action markers, exactly the same.
How could you not love them, right? They're so fun.
You know, I have to say, I've read a lot of people on the BGG forums and Facebook groups and things where some people love Trajan like us.
Yeah.
Some people don't like Trajan. Like there's somebody in our board game group that doesn't really like it that much.
Really?
Yet. They've only played it once and they're going to play it again. But I think the make or break of this game, whether you love it or, I won't say hate it, but don't like it, that is it. It is these action markers. Some people just don't or can't wrap their head around that or don't see the point of it. But for me, it's such a brain burner and it's just such a integral part of the game. It makes you think ahead.
Yeah.
It forces you to plan early. But it also paces you so that you can't just do whatever you want.
No.
There's so much going on. I could easily say, I want to do military and stick with military. But you can't, right? You have to pace yourself. And yeah, it's so good.
You probably want to play more than once to like it. For some people who don't like. Like, there are games I don't like it the first time too. Yeah. But you kind of need to play more than once to see what you want to focus on.
Yeah, we even talked about that. Our first game that we played, we pretty much not ignored, but really didn't give any thought to the Trajan tiles. And that was a mistake.
Yeah.
But the first game is definitely a learning game. Yeah. This game you need to play more for sure.
I think after the first time we play, I was like, can we play it again right now?
Yeah.
Like, right now.
Yeah. And I remember we actually took it on holidays with us, and your second game was
better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She beat me. But that was such a great thing that I love about it too, is how you beat me, because I was ahead of her. I was ahead of Judy the entire time. I was way ahead. And then, just because it's so point salady at the end, you just kept bang, bang, more. And then end game bonuses, and you were ahead of me. What happened?
I got potentials.
Yeah, it was. I love that. Such a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are our top 3 things we love about Trajan.
Yeah.
So, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Do you like it as a top shelf or a middle shelf or
top? I think I said that at the very.
It's my other question.
I said that at the beginning of the video. One of my favorite games. It's going on my top shelf.
Yes, top shelf for me too.
Yeah. It's actually not going on my top shelf. I'm going to put it on a little shrine beside my shelf because I love it so much.
Well, jewelries and gold goes right in. It shines.
Anyways, I hope you liked the video. If you haven't done so and you like the Nerd Shelves series, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell to let you know when we upload more videos.
Yeah, and let us know if you play Trajan.
Yeah, and let us know what you think in the comments below.
Tell us what do you like.
Or don't like.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because we want to know how other people think too.
All right. So go ahead and get another game off of your Nerd Shelves. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.